Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, folks. It's the one and only V, the Grill Economist, coming to you live on this edition of Cuss with Gus. And we have with us the most prolific social commentator of our generation, the one and only Gus Demas. And you can find him at perpetualassets.com. Perpetualassets.com. Do not let your 401k become a 101k. Get a hold of Gus Demas or his fine feathered friend over at perpetualassets.com, cryptos, gold, whatever. Grab your financial life by the balls, baby. Perpetualassets.com. And with that being said, Gustavo, good morning, sir.
Good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man. It seems like we woke up this morning. I commented yesterday on my show that about the comment you made that we lost Mexico.
it turned and you got to even take a step further, right? That Mexico, now they remind me, first of all, God bless them for picking what looks like it's going to be the winners. But also, I don't know if you remember, the whole movie Scarface was basically Castro dumping his undesirables in the ocean and shipping them to Miami.
Yep.
And I laugh because it seems like that's what Mexico did. Mexico, the last 5-10 years, is like, take the criminals and the welfare queens. We're joining China and Russia. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant. I don't know if I've told you and I told a couple others. It's like these countries all came to a realization of shit we talk about all the time, which is like, we have all the resources, we have all the commodities, and all these rainbow pedophile faggots bring to the table
is paper.
It is digital. Yeah, it's Ponzi dollars. It's Ponzi dollars. It's Ponzi dollars and missiles. Like, it's like we're gonna go to war, or we're gonna try to overthrow your government. It's all black ops and Ponzi dollars.
Yeah.
And enough of them got together. It looks like enough of them got together where they're like, if we get Russia, India, China, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, why don't we just tell these child molesters to fuck off?
Exactly.
And it looks like that's what's happening.
That's exactly what's happening.
So
exactly what's happening. And people that don't get it, like this Genevieve Roche-Decter, she's a certified financial analyst, CFA, right?
Well, and look at the way she words her stuff. When Russia and China are making a reserve currency strategy, it's a plot.
Yeah.
But when New York, London, and Washington D.C. do it, it's strategy.
It's good. It's good. Everything the West is good. Having your genitals lopped off is everything's good.
When we overthrow, when we fix elections and assassinate people and install our puppets, that's all strategy. When the other countries are talking about swapping in the yuan petro, like that, dude, these people are
they're evil, and they're so fucking miseducated and uneducated. It's not even
our
funny.
ruling class, our oligarchs, our ruling class, from fuckface up there at the DOD yesterday, from Kirby. It's so embarrassing just listening to these people.
It is
like
so bad.
They remind me of like second and third generation nepotism, like old money.
Oh yeah.
Who's like the trust fund baby who's fucking really retarded, but thinks he's cocky because grandpa started a company 80 years ago.
No, exactly.
Like, they're just so delusional and so dumb. And so it's just carbon cutout answers. And Ducey tried cornering him on Russia and China are working together now, monetary, blah, blah, blah. And Kirby's like, oh, well, Russia's economy, as our banking system is collapsing. This guy is up there, this fucking retard is up there with a straight face trying to tell you that Russia's economy is crumbling.
Yeah.
So you should ask the Russian.
You should ask the Russians.
Meanwhile,
their economy is fucking booming.
We have a bank going down Every day there's a new thing going down, and this dumb motherfucker is up there with his rainbow flag pin, telling you,
yeah, because it's part of foreign policy. I don't know if you know that.
That's part. It's like they have dude. I'm telling you, they sound like trust fund, like retarded trust fund babies, like who they were given this jewel, they were given this privilege, they were given this to steer this ship, and they've just totally fucking fucked it up the last 20 years, and especially the last 2 and the last 20. You could lay out whatever time spectrum you want. They've totally fucked this place up. And then, like, yeah, man, it's to think. Imagine being another country. It doesn't matter if it's India or China or Brazil, and watching what they tried doing to Russia a year ago, where they said, we're going to freeze your treasuries, we're going to freeze your Forex accounts, we're just going to steal all your shit because you upset us. Like, how do you expect the rest of the world to take you serious? You don't deserve the fiduciary responsibility of reserve currency.
No, you don't.
You're pedophilic thieves.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, you'll just steal our shit whenever you feel like it. If invade country and overthrow governments, you don't deserve the privilege of the fiduciary responsibility of the reserve currency. You're scumbags, and everyone can see it.
Right.
So the only people who are afraid of them are us.
That's it.
Because they could SWAT team us and steal our shit.
Yeah.
Like right when the war broke out, like someone said, "Oh, what do you think? Oh, they're doing this or doing that." I'm like, dude, if I'm Russia, if I'm China, if I'm India, if I have nukes and gold and oil, I would tell them to fuck off too.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason,
and here's the terrifying part, right? Russia's military production is greater than all of NATO and the U.S. combined. Okay, and the fact right now, I just looked at the CSIS report from the Pentagon. We are down to donating practice ammo to the Ukrainians. Like what was separated and staved off as for practice ammo. That's how low on ammo we are. It'll take us at least 10 to 15 years to rebuild the ammunition and weapon stores that we've expended and depleted in Ukraine. Why? Because we're a fucking paper Ponzi scheme masquerading and LARPing as a superpower, and we're fighting an industrial juggernaut and having our asses handed to us. That's why, dude, I can't wait. I want the U.S. I want American troops on the ground in Ukraine. I want them to get chewed up because you know what's happening to American mercenaries, contractors? There are reports, and I've seen videos of fucking contractors from the U.S. running away. They're like, yo, we don't want. They're breaking down. They're having PTSD on the field, right? Because they had PTSD from being beaten by goat fuckers in Afghanistan, right? Now they're actually facing a professional military of real fucking men, and now they're crying like bitches on the battlefield. They don't want none. They don't want none of the smoke, bro.
If you thought the last 3 or 4 years were tyranny in this country, you haven't seen anything yet.
Yes, exactly.
Meaning, you haven't seen anything yet. If you think these people lose reserve currency stat, if China dumps another 20% of its treasuries the next 3 months, 6 months, if these countries start going up, Saudi Arabia, they start fucking. If you thought whenever empires collapse, they can no longer steal around the world, they turn inward.
Of course.
And if you think they've given us tyranny the last 3 years, you have no idea what it's going to look like the next 3. I mean, that number might go from 90,000 IRS agents to 190,000. They're going to fucking, and that might be what closing the crypto on and off ramps is all about. That might be.
That's exactly what it is. Here's what's funny. I was going to talk about.
It's going to be capital controls.
Yep.
No flight. Only assets they could fucking seize, or like they could easily come up with some FDR gold bullshit. They could nuke the crypto ramps. It's like, yes, this whole thing is collapsing, and now it's total capital controls. No flight, No one's going anywhere, and we're stealing everyone's shit. Like that's what happens when empires collapse. Because everyone around the world's like, "Fuck you, we're not doing it anymore," and they're like, "I guess we'll rob our sheep." Like that's the only thing left. That's what I think. It really seems to me that's what they're going to do. It makes sense. It makes sense.
It's funny because hot on the heels of everything, it's like you had BlackRock and Fidelity just announced, and I'm going to deal with this in detail tomorrow, but they've announced that they're preparing 14. Oh my God, I don't even know what the number was. I think it was 14 billion or trillion or some shit like that. Give me 1 second. It's like it's an obscene, $14 trillion investment, right? I mean to drive the Bitcoin market cap up to like 14 trillion in cryptos. Why? Because now all of a sudden, Gus, you're going to start seeing Bitcoin ETFs, and we knew this. We knew they're going to cut the on ramps and the off ramps. They themselves are going to control it. They're going to offer you ETFs and crypto facsimiles that you can never actually own the real crypto, and they'll run that market up as the next bubble, and then they're going to tax the shit out of you.
Well, just like SLV and GLD are total scams. It's you own nothing. The government is big on assets they could seize. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So when you have an ETF or a stock or even your house you live in, like they like assets they could seize. It's as simple as that. They hate gold. They hate diamonds. They hate expensive watches. They hate Bitcoin. They hate shit you can move around, or you could dig a hole in your backyard and they have to, they hate that shit.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about. So it's not crazy at all. You're right. They could just make up some Ponzi crypto ETF or Deutsche will handle it, or Barclay. It's so funny, man. No one takes them seriously.
No, nobody does.
Except for people living under their rule, because you have to. Yeah. But again, like I said, to lose Mexico, for your neighbor to tell you to go fuck yourself, it's a joke. Take your rainbows and shove them up your ass. Like I'm joining the Chi-Coms. It's pretty outstanding to watch, dude. I mean, it's I don't know, and I don't. For those, like, everyone's been trying to focus so much on the Trump arrest and the political stuff and all the rest, and I'm like, bro, I don't think we got 2 years. Like you're living day a week now. There's a bank collapsing a day, and you're worried about an election 2 years from now. Like, bro,
don't worry, man. The 2024 election's around the corner.
Yeah,
a new president will save us.
I don't know if you got that kind of time, homie. Like,
No, I think we're reaching like mission critical at this point. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, dude. If they're ever. They forced them into long-term T-bills. Those are worth 60 cents in the dollar. Hedge fund managers are probably paying 50 cents the dollar for them. But they have a bunch of balance sheets that are totally fictional. So the entire banking system is sitting on a fictional Ponzi. And if they're forced to liquidate those assets, and that's what the Fed just did. They said, "Oh no, we'll give you 100 cents on the dollar." It's a Ponzi scheme, dude. It's all fake.
Look at this fruit knob.
Oh,
it goes, no, right? China and Russia can't negotiate for peace in Ukraine. Only we can. Think this low talent, low IQ moron.
Product of nepotism, like old East Coast, fucking money, trust what State Department. Daddy was an admiral. And all that bullshit. They're just a joke. They're all a joke.
100% joke, and they're getting outplayed by real diplomats in real countries with real economies.
Well, and let me tell you what would happen too. Even if the Chi-Coms go over there, broker a deal, guess what? We're gonna go from Sean Penn and Ben Stiller licking Zelensky's balls on camera to the CIA killing Zelensky in one day.
Zelensky's a marked man. The suicide watch has started, bro.
If you want to know how the world really works, they feed us retarded sheep the most low IQ propaganda on earth. And the minute shit gets real, they take the messiah of the new Winston Churchill of the last year, and they'll nuke him. They'll vanish him. They'll kill him. They don't give a fuck. He's another puppet. So even that motherfucker, right now, he's stuck. Like he's their bitch, So it doesn't matter what he wants to do. It's what Washington and London want to do. That's all. Yeah. He's a total pup. And there's no accident they picked a homosexual actor as their puppet. Like, so you get up there in a sweatshirt and tell you to buy his war bonds.
Listen, American economics is the locomotive that will power the game.
Locomotive.
The locomotive. Slava Ukraina.
The Ukraine investments will make your economy the locomotive for the next century. with a straight face.
With a straight face. Yeah. With an olive green sweatshirt.
Yeah. Dude, it's incredible. But that's why I'm actually surprised they would even entertain China entering the talks. Because again, if the State Department, CIA got a whiff, or DOD got a whiff that this motherfucker was going to stop anything, they would vanish him. They would get rid of him.
Absolutely.
And they would blame Russia.
Yeah, of course.
They would kill him and they would blame Russia. Yeah. They'd say a Russian assassin got him or something. And I mean, it's everything they do. Dude, everything they do is predictable, bro. Everything they do is projection. It's fantasy. It's predictive. They've used the same playbook the last 50 years. They just recycle shit. Like it's all predictable. But it's
absolutely, man.
The fact that the China Russia meeting was scheduled in advance and the banks started collapsing the week before is some of the fucking that's some of the funniest shit you'll ever see ever. Like you almost can't believe it. Like the timing is fucking hilarious. And that's why when you see, a DOD spokesperson yesterday start making fun of Russia's economy, like you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. It's it's fucking incredible, dude. We're living through history.
Dude, it's absolutely incredible to witness this, and it's a world change. Look, the West gotta go. It's gotta go. You know what I'm saying? It's like China and Russia are developing. Like yesterday, I was talking about the power or the value of just having a road, and how the West doesn't even allow roads to be built in the third world or in emerging markets.
The only thing that was missing was the Middle East getting on board.
Oh, and they are. And here's the funny thing. UAE
exactly.
just said they're going to be joining the BRICS.
The minute you get the Saudis and UAE and Turkey flirts with them, and
Gus, that already happened. Gus,
the minute you get the Middle East, it's over.
No, it is.
Like it's over.
Gus, that just happened. Saudi Arabia and Iran last week just signed a peace treaty. Syria and Turkey are about to make the peace treaty as well. And the UAE, the president of UAE, right? He stated, that it is time for Syria to return back to their Arab brothers. So it's already happening. And UAE is also announcing joining the BRICS. Why the hell do they want to deal with the West? We're just a broken, solvent country masquerading as a superpower. Why the hell do they want to deal with us?
The Middle East was the missing component to
bring
it all to.
So Israel's like, what are we going to do now? Israel's like, oh shit.
There's only one thing to do, dude. More rainbow flags.
Yes, we have to double. They have to double and triple. That's why it's part of U.S. foreign policy.
If your people are starving, give them a Ukraine flag. Give them a Ukraine flag to eat. They'll fucking love it, dude. Bro, we don't make anything. It's all tech and finance fucking jargon. That's the whole economy is based on that. Like it's all tech and finance. Even when you look at, doesn't matter which fucking area where do you think California and New York's GDP comes from? It's all tech and finance. They're not fucking making anything of relevant. Like it's all there's no leverage. when you look at the U.S. government going around, like the leverage was dollars and missiles. Like that's it.
That was it.
Yeah, there's no leverage. What are you gonna like? This isn't theory. We see it with our own eyes. Like it's so you start threatening people with actual resources and commodities and production. They're like fuck and
nukes.
Yeah, well, dude, nukes
and hypersonics.
Dude, between India and China, they got what? Almost 2.5 billion. Like it's like they got the manpower, they got the
brain power, the manpower, they have the military power. They have nothing to fear. They have nothing to fear. I knew something was up in 2008 when the American Air Force were just like, I grew up watching Top Gun and Iron Eagle and all the other bullshit propaganda crap. And you see the American Air Force going into an air dogfight against the Indian Air Force, and the Indian Air Force had an 8-to-1 kill ratio. For every Indian Air Force plane that the Americans shot down, the Indians shot down 8 on the U.S. side. It was a massacre.
The greatest tragedy of it is when I look at it all, just like with COVID, the sheep on the streets, the dollar, they could start capital controls, banking collapses, they could print another 10 trillion, dollar could lose reserve currency. It would take the sheep 5 years to figure out what happened. We live in such a state of ignorance, delusion, brainwashing with the media and tech that it would take these people years to figure out what just happened. Years. Yeah. Just like with COVID. Think of COVID, like how long it took them to take those masks off. Think of it. And CNN would be up there saying, everything's fine, don't worry.
Don't worry.
It would take them years to figure out what just happened. Before you know it, you snap, and it doesn't matter which direction. At this point, it looks like it's going to be inflation. There could be, look at the way this country reacted to 10%, 15% inflation. What if it was 50%? What if it was 60? What if it was a real number, like an Argentina number or a Turkey number? These people would not know what to do with themselves.
No, they wouldn't. And here's the funny fucking part. You and I both know that real inflation at this point is anywhere between 18 to 21% at this point of the game, and across many commodities and staples that people are buying with U.S. dollars. These fuckers, when they went off any sort of accounting sense back in the early 80s, and we started counting government expenditure as economic growth, which is the most stupidest, craziest thing in the world. But America being America, it is the stupidest, craziest country in the world. Literally, right? So only a moron would think the more money I spend equals economic growth. That's stupid. So now what happens when the chickens come home to roost? And because right now they're lying to us about inflation, saying it's 8 or 9%. It's not. It's 18, maybe 20% from every real firm that tracks this in a real way, using the original accounting that we used to do back in the 70s and so forth, right? Dude, that's the problem, Gus. The shit's going to hit the fan. Nobody knows what to do because the people that are in charge are some of the most uneducated and miseducated fools in the entire damn world.
The reason I think they go inflation, and actually today's a big day with if they come out and cut by 50 basis points, you'll 100% know it's happening. But the reason they go inflation is very simple. Because the sheep sitting at home feels in the short term they're getting richer. So they see their house. Look at the last couple of years. Look at from 2020 to 2023. Everyone's like, oh, my home went up 40%. I'm a fucking genius. Oh, I bought Apple. Apple went up by 30%. I'm a fucking genius. So when it's just assets going up, the average pleb loves it. They're like, oh my God, this is incredible. I'm the best investor ever.
I'm a genius.
Then when it seeps into actual consumer goods and services, that's when they figure it out. They're like, wait a minute, I just spent fucking $25 on a chicken breast. What the fuck just happened? So and that's what they did from 2009 to 2020 or even 2021. The inflation felt good because it was just in assets. So everyone was happy. The minute that seeps into goods and services, party's over. and the people freak out. And that's just a taste. That's not that's not what Argentina tastes. That's not what Turkey tastes. Like, I mean, that's real shit.
Like I think it was Michael Hudson said it best. The American economy is dependent upon rent and interest rates, right? Rent and rates. That's what Wall Street's dependent upon. The rent that we get from the dollar as the world reserve currency. What happens when those rent checks stop? Oh my God. Oh my God.
They've reached a point where if they don't cut rates, if they don't print, they nuke the bond market. Like, that's what happened to these banks. The bonds became not worthless, but 40%, 30% less value than they were. So people went long treasury bonds in 2021 to cover their ass. And in 2023, those bonds are 40% less than they were. So unless you wait to maturity, which is 29 years from now. So yeah, this is the whole game. You don't have, when bonds are as volatile as fucking tech, you're in trouble. Like, that's where you're at. There were no safe assets. It was all a fucking lie. It was all a scam. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're at. So we'll see, man. We'll see. That, like I said, I don't think people will be able to connect the dots. And even for the politicos on our side, worried about the Trump drama right now.
Oh my God.
Well, just don't be. I don't know if we make it there. So you should be worried. You should be worried on banks coming down. You should be worried about the economics. You should be worried about the yuan right now. You shouldn't be worried about Trump in New York on a misdemeanor charge, which will only help him actually. But yeah, it's, bro. I don't know. I'm heading to Central America in the next couple of weeks.
Are you really?
Yeah, I decided, dude. It's a 2.5 hour flight. I can get to Panama. True. I can get to Panama and El Salvador faster than I get to Chicago. So it's a no brainer. I'll go down there, start looking at shit, checking out banking. Yeah, all of it, dude.
I have guys that could. Let me talk to. Yeah, we'll talk offline, man. I have deep contacts there that could help you with everything.
Yeah, I'm eyeballing El Salvador for the crypto stuff.
Yep.
And I'm eyeing and Panama looks pretty tempting for banking too.
Yep.
Not crypto banking, but just holding accounts and companies and all that kind of shit. But I can't at this point not setting up hedges.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's irresponsible. You don't even have to do business there, but you should definitely set up infrastructure to be ready. Again, you don't want to be the guy trying to swim to Cuba. Like, no. You don't want to be like, hey, amigos, will you let the Griego in? I love Che Guevara. Like, yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
I love spaghetti with tomato with ketchup and cheese whiz. Let's go.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy. So
no, you don't.
No, you want to have shit in place that if they go capital controls, if they go draconian, if they go insane, then yeah, you could get the fuck out. Like, it's just that simple. The Jews who came to New York in the 1930s weren't crazy. They weren't clairvoyant either. They could just see the writing on the wall.
Yeah, they're like, this asshole's gonna kill us.
This mother. Look, we don't think those trains are going to the Ritz-Carlton. I'm not buying it.
Yeah. I'm not buying this. The story I'm hearing about, like, luxury summer camps for families.
clearing out the Jewish ghettos, but he's sending us to the Four Seasons, Berlin. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. No, trust me, it's the Four Seasons in Berlin. It's it's out there. It's called it's an arm of it's called Auschwitz. It's a branch of the Four Seasons. Well, Auschwitz. I never heard of that resort.
Of all his quotes, his most poignant one that he was spot on about was Hitler's. It was, how lucky for rulers that men do not think.
Oh my God, how powerful is that?
It's just so true. Mm-hmm. He's basically saying it doesn't matter which country you're in, even his own. He's basically saying, how lucky for me that these retards can't think. Like, he could have been making fun of the Germans. Like, you just don't know. But it's so true. How lucky America's no different. How lucky for these fucking oligarchs that men do not think. Like, it's the whole thing is predicated on that. Like I said, that's the whole system, the fragility of it all. And that's why I've said for a long time, even the prosecutions they're doing now, that doesn't matter if it's the January 6ers or Trump or anyone else for that matter.
Yeah.
It's all, they know you want to know how fucked up these people are. They know they have every single institution of power. They know they have Google. They know they have Harvard. They know they have the CIA. They know they have the Pentagon. They know they have fucking BlackRock. It's still not enough.
No.
They want the population, but because the population terrifies them.
Of course
they
it
have
does.
every institution of power, every single one. Yep. Media, tech, fucking military, law enforcement. They got it all. And they're still terrified.
Yep.
They're like, oh, because they don't have the population. And they know they don't have the population. So they resort to, as Orwell said, once the propaganda, tyranny relies on force and propaganda. Once propaganda fails, it relies exclusively on force. That's where we're at. Like, the propaganda's failing. They sense they're losing the population. So it's just going to be all force now. It's going to be like any tyrannical regime. And that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So
here we have a wonderful liberal Wisconsin Supreme Court candidate, man. And Janet Protzowski. I can't even, Proskowitz, I can't even pronounce it, whatever. Let off a convicted child rapist with no jail time who was accused of filming a sexual encounter with a 13-year-old and posting it on Facebook.
Bro, the feminist utopia, bro.
Of course.
We're in the feminist, the U.S., Germany, Australia, Canada. We're getting a sense of what the homosexual and feminist utopia feels like.
It's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
It's so sensitive. It's also, it's so nurturing. Mommy can't be tyrannical. Mommy's nurturing. The feminist utopia. Yeah, dude, Tim Cook wears cardigans. He can't be bad. Like, it's like, it's Trudeau wears pink socks. Of course he's sensitive. Like, he can't be a tyrant. Look at his pink socks. What do you mean? He's not a tyrant. He loves you. Yeah, dude, it's one of the greatest scams of all time. If we make the tyranny gay and feminine, we could sell the propaganda that it can't be tyranny. Like, oh, we're super nurturing. We love people of aggression. What a SWAT team you. Like, yeah, that's the whole scam, brother. That's the whole scam. You can't be, if you're feminine and gay, you can't be a tyrant. That's
no, you can't. Scam. I mean, that's why Bill Gates wears pink sweaters. He can't be evil.
Of course,
I can't be evil. I wear a pink sweater.
Dude,
no matter that I'm wanted in India as a criminal.
How could BlackRock be bad? They have a rainbow flag on their avatar.
Good, they're allies. They're allies.
That's the dude. I saw some guy posted a thing about his daughter was going for a college loan, a grant or a loan or something for tuition, and the Dropbox was LGBT plus, LGBT, whatever the fucking abbreviation is now.
I can't keep track of it anymore. There's a new letter added every day.
And then there was LGBT plus ally, and then there was I prefer not to answer. I didn't even. The college, getting a scholarship in college now, it basically gives you three options. It's, are you gay? Are you in our cult? Are you not gay but in our cult anyway? And are you an enemy? Like, those are your three options. Dude, it's brother. It's not a serious country. It's gone.
No, it's not.
Like,
it's not. And it's being exposed as not being a serious country.
No, dude, it's gone. It's gone. Like, it's sad. They're I don't see. Think about one thing as it doesn't matter if you're a father. It doesn't matter if you have a family. It doesn't matter if you are a bachelor. It doesn't matter what you are. How do you send your children off in this environment? So
I'll show you how. I think you sent a wonderful clip of the average American male, especially if you're white. This is what happens. And here we go.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Back in Europe with y'all. Gay ass here, Caribbean, African citizens, annoying. Fucking gay ass gorilla looking. Shut up, you ugly body.
It's fine. It's fine.
Dude, it's loving.
It's lovely.
It's loving.
Take them back to Europe with y'all. Gay ass here, Caribbean, African citizens, annoying. Fucking gay ass gorilla looking. Shut up, you ugly body. Nasty ass mutating, permutating, corrugating, mediating, skin. Shut up, your body don't even last long enough. I'm gonna look younger than him by the time he's my age. I don't care about them ugly ass kids in your race. Shut up. Fucking plastic ass body. Little debilitated, innervated, emasculated, feeble, incapacitated, indisposed, emaciated, attenuated, tenuous body. I don't care about you. Shut up, you white monkey. You a dog in this country. You're a fucking dog. You're nothing over here. You are a dog. Shut up. I'm Black American. I'm over you. Faggot ass Caribbean.
I wonder how that ended.
I wonder. I mean, how? Do
the guy is dropping some bars there. Emasculated, corrugated, propagated, constipated.
How do you send your dude, a little 3-year-old son right there? Yeah. And if this country had justice, that dude would get shot in the face immediately.
100%.
Yeah, you get in someone's 3-year-old's face, dude, like that and start.
I will fly off my handle. I would.
Dude,
oh,
if there were justice, that dude would have been shot in the face in 5 seconds. Like if this was a just country.
100%. Like I avoid a fight as much as I possibly can, but if my family's threat, you come to my wife or my kid, you get within 3 feet, I'm fucking ripping. I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna have a 250-pound problem on your hands.
The question is, what happens if the dad does something? And
it's gonna be a hate crime.
We know the answer.
Yeah, we do. It's going to be a hate crime.
The 30.
What if the dude standing there saying that he's corrugated, constipated, emasculated, propagated? What if he was a white dude and that was a black family sitting down?
Dude, there would be 100 FBI agents there in 10 minutes.
100%.
How do you set?
Those weren't earbuds. Those were clearly a noose. You were trying to put a noose around. No. Those were his earbuds in his ear. No. That's a noose. We know a noose, sir. We just investigated what the noose looks like on a garage pole, but that's a noose.
How do you send your children off in this world in a place like this? How do you can't be there during high school, during college, in the early 20s. You can't. How can you be in a country that allows this? Like that's what I mean. When you're like, oh, people are like, oh, I don't care. As a bachelor, I have different set of problems, but they're no different. Like the family court, believe all women, steal your shit. If you're raising a family, bro, if you're raising a family, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
You got to worry. Doesn't matter if it's BLM or the Rainbow Mafia. You got to worry about your kids being fucking accosted, neutered, canceled, fired, framed. Even though you have the population, Jesse Kelly says it properly, to fix this place, dude, would take an entire generation.
It would take an entire 2 generations because the Zoomers have to die off, Generation Z, and Gen X has to show the way to Generation Alpha that's coming up right now. That's the only way you fucking fix this thing.
You cannot fix. That's why it's almost hard.
I think you reached the point of what I've realized is dude. There's no fixing this country. It's irreparable. It's irreparable and it's uninvestable.
You almost need some sort of. You almost need an economic collapse to happen. People to really all struggle. Where everyone, they do create some sort of oligarch and peasant class only, and the middle class is wiped out, and then people stop tolerating the woke stuff. And with it would take a generation because I just said 5 minutes ago, they control every institution. Some they got through, some they took slowly through HR. They've always controlled the universities. They've always controlled the media. But my thesis on like the Pentagon and FBI and CIA would be like the minute the minute the Bible bangers and conservatives and the minute those people brought that the minute they brought the deep state and the intel community Trump, the intel community, Pentagon, they all flipped on those people and said we need to embrace this woke thing because the conservatives brought us Trump. So they have every institution. Like, you can't, an election, dude, an election's not going to do it. It's not going to, I'll give you the simplest analogy I can give you. It's not a tumor, it's leukemia.
Yes.
It's not, there's not a tumor you could remove in a surgery and
No.
we're good. The cancer's in the blood.
Yep. It's
like
leukemia and the patient is terminal, man.
Yeah, it's
Patient
leukemia. It's in the
terminal.
It's in the blood. It's in the blood. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You said earlier they include the U.S. government now in the inflation numbers, GDP numbers, all that. The U.S. government's the biggest employer in the world. It's the biggest. Getting rid of the administrative state would take years and years, and they would sue you. They would tie you up in court forever for false firings and shit. Like, it'd be an HR court fucking disaster. So, yeah,
It's fucking sick, dude.
Yeah,
it's fucking sick.
Like I've said it a million times. I'd rather live in Tijuana. At least the pussy's cheap. Like, it's like, yeah.
Oh my God.
What are they selling? What is this country selling you? What are they selling me? What's the sales pitch now? What are you offering? Like, there is no sales pitch. It's not business friendly. It's not safe. It's not a place to raise a family. It's not a place. It's not virtuous. What are they selling? Rainbows.
Rainbows
Rainbows
Ponzi
and scheme.
wealth extraction,
carjacking old ladies, Ponzi schemes, and rainbows.
Yeah.
What are you selling?
It's good, but we don't but that's don't worry, Gus. Don't worry, because as long as we have idiots like this, here's Joseph D. McBride, Esquire. Okay, 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. He shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways, and in their hands they will bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. I'm like, and somebody tweeted this out. They're like, he's like, and look, I disagree with Adam Kinzinger on everything, but he's right here. Trump isn't Jesus. So only correcting that he just stated that this beta cuck Kinzinger has stated. And here we are. And this is the problem. The Bible thumpers are asleep, right?
Well, Kinzinger is another example, like Lindsey Graham, that there's a 99% chance the CIA and FBI have pictures of him sucking dick at truck stops. So he's another. If you want to know how they capture your politicos are captured.
I just pictured Lindsey Graham wearing like Daisy Dukes and some tank tops as a lot lizard
at a truck stop, sucking a cock, and all of a sudden the lights get turned on, and they're like, "Surprise, FBI, we got you. Here's how you're voting now." Yeah, your support. Put on this Ukraine pin and shut the fuck up. The politicals are controlled through incentives or blackmail extortion, and blackmail extortion is even more powerful than incentives. So you have the incentive structure is the Nancy Pelosi. I'm the greatest investor
ever
since JP Morgan. That's the incentive side of things. And the other side of things, you have the rhinos and the neocons who've been caught doing whatever, something, and they come to them and then say, "Do you want 10 years in prison, or do you want to say exactly what we say and do exactly what we do?" Like, that's the whole thing. That's the whole game. So listen, you were about to say it, and you're right. The guys, even the guys on our side, falsely believe.
Don't worry. Here it is, Gus. It's the future of American men.
Jesus. Dude, she's bigger than he's bigger than I am.
Hi, my name is Jenna. Don't worry. He's breaking down, dude. I'd crack the kid's jaw. I'm like, you ain't
it's a fucking linebacker.
Oh my God. I'm sorry I let your mom do this to you. I should have stood up and backhanded the bitch when I had a chance. Fucking pathetic. This is you, America. This crying man right here is you. That's America's future. You want to see the future of America? Here it is. Here's the face. When all this shit blows up, when the Ponzi is gone, and their bank accounts turn to zero, and their houses ain't worth shit, and then all of a sudden the land grabs start happening because of eminent domain and national security. This is the face that every American is going to have in this country. Mark my words. Why? Because you thought it was cute to unleash the CIA in third world countries. You thought it was cute to bomb mud huts and kill innocent people. You thought 500,000 dead women and children in Iraq was okay and the price was acceptable, as Madeline Halfbright once said. You sow into the wind, my friends, you reap the whirlwind. What goes around comes around. And if God doesn't crack America, he'll have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah. Go ahead, Gus.
Yeah, and I see a lot of chatter in the comments section about solutions. There are two solutions. You could either become a prepper and hide it out and wait and try to live like this, or you could look at options for leaving, or set up infrastructure.
It's honestly cheaper leaving.
Those people are like, oh, I want solutions. You live in 1938 Nazi Germany. Your solutions are go hide in the hills or get the fuck out of here. Those are your solutions. So that people act confused, like it's not 2010. People are like lying to themselves that we could get back, that they could still do American flags during a Super Bowl halftime show. The Super Bowl halftime show has fucking pedophiles running around with rainbows. Like, it's fucking thin. You're living in a fucking dream world. You're lying to yourself. They have the institutions, and if the dollar loses reserve currency, you could prep it out, try to get off grid as you want. You could wait it out like that, or you could get the fuck out, or at least set up infrastructure to get the fuck out. Those are your options. So I'm sorry, Trump coming in isn't going to do shit. And if I'm being honest, they would either kill him, impeach him again. And if you want to know, if my theory of V is this, he might have even been tempted. He might have even been tempted to give pardons to the January 6ers.
Yeah.
And Snowden and Assange, but they might have said to him, motherfucker, do you want to get impeached or not? If you want, McConnell and Romney might have pulled him off to the side and said, we'll nuke you, brother. You could try to pardon whoever the fuck you want, but you'll never be back here. Did that happen? Maybe, maybe not. But that's them applying leverage and extortion again.
Gus, maybe you don't like sour cream and onion flavored crickets, bro.
Yeah. Your solutions, and I go back to what Andrew Tate said. He goes, I could live like this. I could. I go back to what happened here with me in the hurricane. I prepped it out for a couple of days without electricity. Yes. And without Wi-Fi. I could have kept going. But then when my buddy called me 45 minutes away and said, bro, we got everything. We got Wi-Fi, we got electricity. I'd be like, I'll be right there.
That's such a brilliant analogy.
That's what happened. It was, I roughed it out. I had all my preps ready. The generators were pumping, but I didn't have I was climbing trees to make a phone call. I could have kept going. I was just not living well. It was miserable. So you could prep it out in Idaho, and whatever, or you could go a place where you could actually still go to restaurants and cafes and
the modern world, man. I do.
Well, Andrew Tate made a point I hadn't thought, but it reminded me of my hurricane scenario, because I was like, yeah, we could live like this, but we don't have to.
Yeah.
I could go to countries where I could actually go to the largest city or the largest 5 cities, and not have some animal yell at my 3-year-old. Like, yeah, you can live like that, or you could find an alternative where you could actually go to a large city without and walk out of your hotel with a nice watch and not get fucking robbed.
Right,
like
exactly. I'm planning a trip to the West Coast. Guess what watches I'm packing?
My
G-Shock. That's it.
They use patriotism against conservatives the way they use woke against liberals. Yeah. How they manipulated conservatives through Iraq, through Afghanistan, through Libya, through Syria, how they manipulated conservatives and Bible bangers is through patriotism. They use 100%. They use the patriotism thing to manipulate you. That's it. Like, just like they use the rainbow bullshit to manipulate the woke, they use the Constitution says this. Do you think Merrick Garland gives a fuck about what the Constitution? Do you think the FBI SWAT teams give a fuck about what the Constitution says? They conned us, bro. Like, and people are still like in denial. They locked you in your fucking house and burned your city for a year. Like, there is the Bill of Rights. They control the men with guns and handcuffs,
and they're not giving that power up, man.
Oh fuck, dude! Would you?
No.
Would you? If me and you were them, would you give it up?
Exactly.
I've told you with a straight face, and I truly believe this. Before any of them went to jail, they would put tanks in the streets. There is no doubt in my mind. Before Fauci and Comey and Clapper and the rest of these they're evil scumbags. Before they spent one day in prison, they would roll out tanks in the streets. They would lock this country down in martial law. You're never getting accountability. And without accountability, the FBI's hubris, bro, has exploded. They used to be afraid of in 2016, those back and forth texts we saw from the FBI agents were like, do we have an insurance policy? Are we able to get our way out of this? Is this even allowed? Like, that was fucking 2016 was a lifetime ago. Now they just don't give a fuck. Like, fast forward 7 years later of no accountability, McCabe getting his full pension. Like, forget about putting him in jail. They're paying him out 100 cents on the dollar on pension.
Yep.
Like, there's no accountability.
Strzok, same thing. Strzok still has a security clearance, bro.
Of course. They got away with it all. So when you wonder why the FBI is so out of control, it's because they got away with it all. They know they're never getting handcuffs, and they got you by the balls. That's why. So I can't see a Trump or DeSantis fixing that.
But
the
Gus,
truth
this is the freest country in the world, man. Where are you gonna go, Gus? Everywhere else is, it's all dirt roads and goats, man.
Yeah,
where else you can go?
Yeah, it's like when they issued the travel warrant. The FBI issues a travel warning for Mexico, instead of issuing one for Chicago.
Exactly.
It's like, dude, give me a break. Your options are get to the reddest of red communities and try to live your life in peace without the feds knocking on your door, or try to get offshore. Those are your options.
100%. The funny thing is, all these people that spend tens of thousands of dollars prepping, tens of thousands, when they don't realize that, it's cheaper just to leave. It's cheaper just to leave, man.
Even if you don't go, it would be insane not to go look at and set up infrastructure. It doesn't matter if it's putting up $100 in a foreign bank account. It doesn't matter if it's looking at other areas there. If you do have to go, you can go. Just doing diligence to, if they get totally out of control, do you want to be here for that? Like, do you want to wait and be dude, it's irresponsible not to do it. It truly is. I mean, and it's not like I'm like, oh, it's going to be, I'm not saying for certain it's going to be gulags, but it could be. But it could be. But it could be.
I mean, dude, here's the thing. They want to throw people in jail for 50 years for just walking around the Capitol. Okay? They're SWAT teaming people who are praying outside of these clinics.
They're they
Wow.
want
Gulags
to
in their nature, man.
Yeah, they want to basically make you since the world is no longer terrified of them, they're left to have their citizens be terrified of them.
Yeah,
that's it. So, I too, I'm not selling my house. But I am going to look at other shit, and I'll set up infrastructure, and I'll keep my life in America. And if I see the wrong red flag, I'm fucking gone. Like that's my thesis. And I've tried to examine every single way around it. How do we defeat these people? How do you win? How do you whatever? And it's like, they're, like I said, the only way to really right this ship, and I've said this before a million times, is a thousand really important people need to go to jail. And those 1,000 people would never go to jail. That's the problem. Because they control all the men with handcuffs and badges and guns and the rest. So, if you want to be romantic and ride it out. Don't have a backup plan. I don't give a shit. Like it's your decision. But me,
exactly. There's you have El Salvador, and I got a guy there who's close to the government. There's Panama's a fantastic. You go to Panama, you're not going to be the advantage of Panama is you're not going to be the gringo on the hill. They're used to Americans being there for 150 years.
Yeah,
there's plenty of people from Europe there too.
You said it before. It's true. The problem with Central and South America is it could flip in one election or one CIA coup or whatever else. But it's at this point, like I said, if the world is heading the way of BRICS, then those coups are going to become less and less frequent, and they're gonna focus more on the U.S. And again, the thing about Central America, bro, it's a 2.5-hour flight.
Yeah, it is. It's a hop, skip, and a jump away.
I could get to Panama or El Salvador as fast as I get to New York or Chicago, and it's the same. And I think they're both on Central time zones too. So yeah, I'd be insane not to look at it. Again, if these people choke us out of our businesses, being in crypto and metals, what are my options?
Yeah.
Like, am I gonna have to find a new profession? Like, it's like, no, I mean, they're not leaving me much of a choice. Like they're making my decision easy. I have to go look at other options, So I hope I'm wrong, and Trump and DeSantis could become the dictator I would hope for, but I just don't see it. I don't. They would never let it happen, bro. They would never let it happen. They would never let a Franco happen. They might let a Pinochet happen, but that would require you pretending to be on their side and then getting in there and like Pinochet did it on the stealth. Franco was instant force, and they would never allow instant force because they would see it coming a mile away. You'd have to infiltrate and purge from within, like Pinochet did. So yeah, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we're wrong, and it's New York and Chicago are one. You could bring your 3-year-old back to New York again. Yeah, it's all fucking gross.
It's insane, man. It's insane, and it's terrible. It's got to. This is only going to end one way, man. We all know it. So I'm not holding my breath, brother.
No, neither am I. And again, if we're wrong, then we're wrong. But I don't think.
I'd love to be wrong at this point.
Yeah, I'd love to go back in a time machine to 5 years ago. My life was much less stressful. And
Italy's going to be a big turnaround for those who are looking at Europe. There's a handful of countries that are going to be turning around to this. My money's on Italy. Hungary's going to hold out. There's even a chance of Greece waking up. Cyprus, Crete, not Crete. Cyprus, and what's the other one? It is Crete. Yeah, Crete. There's going to be some locales for sure, man.
Anywhere. The Mediterranean, you're better off in the Mediterranean than you are in Northern Europe.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
the Southern Europeans still have some balls.
The culture's not stacked.
No,
they still have culture. Stacked. Yeah,
exactly.
They still have culture.
Exactly.
And we could argue the economics is one argument, the culture is the other argument. Yeah. So yes, the Mediterranean, Portugal, Spain, Italy, Greece still have their culture. Germany and France and England do not. It's
they
finished.
don't.
So they're on with the Rainbow Mafia as much as we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Australia, no fucking way. Canada, no fuck. Dude, it's the English-speaking West plus Germany and France. Those are your cancers of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. 100%. Gustavo, it was an epic time, my man.
Not a boring week behind us and not a boring week ahead of us, bro.
It's never going to be a boring week. And I can't forget, Thailand is a great freaking option too. You can talk to Hobo Sermons about that. Thailand is killer, and they're getting more and more integrated with the BRICS as time goes on.
And Thailand, you could keep your money. You could keep your money in Singapore, and you could live in Thailand too.
Exactly.
And Singapore appears to be the third crypto hub. It looks like it's going to be Dubai, El Salvador, and Singapore. As of today, those are the three crypto hubs.
America, DC and Wall Street says they're going to be the crypto hub. They're going to give us some ETFs, man.
For sure. Yeah, it's going to be London and New York are going to own the next century for sure.
Yeah,
it's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. I know it. It's America, baby. Yeah, America.
As long as your 3-year-old takes their hormone medication, it's going to be amazing in London and New York.
It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's Dubai, Singapore, and El Salvador. As of today, those are the 3 spots for crypto.
That's it.
In Singapore to Bangkok is a short flight. I could be wrong. I think it's 90-minute flight or something. It's pretty close.
I mean, Gus, you and I have been doing this. You and I work in the same industry, and we've been doing this for at least 13 years together, right? I mean, 13 years you've been in the metals and crypto. Same here. We like what we do, Gus.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm speaking both I'm speaking both socially and professionally.
Yeah.
Like socially, it's always been like the red flags are everywhere, but professionally, they're not leaving me much of a choice. Like if this decision was purely social, I would pick Italy or Greece or maybe Colombia. Like in Colombia's new regime, who the fuck knows? But like I would pick somewhere with amazing food and amazing poontang and all the rest. But the decision also has to be economic. Like it has, but just like you're leaning towards Dubai, it's like you almost have it's business. It's everything you want professionally. So you have no choice. Like, so it's a two-prong solution. It's like, do I do what, I'd love to go live in a fucking brothel for the next 5 years, but I also have to do business. So yeah, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating.
No, it really is.
Yeah, you can't find peace. You can't find peace with these people. Not with your money, not with your family, not with your social life. They've consumed. Like I said, it's leukemia. It's not a tumor. It doesn't matter if doesn't matter if it's go to your bank, then you go to the bar, and then you have to worry about your kids at school. It's like, it's cancer, dude. It's all fucking cancer.
Another place to consider is Malaysia. Malaysia's pretty good as well.
Great
food.
Anything that is. I saw an interview with Pomp, and they were talking and goes, anything that is away from Blue America's financial influence.
Yep.
So if you're staying in the US, it's Wyoming, Florida, Texas. Like the further away if you're going offshore, it's anything who's not under the direct influence of Washington, D.C., London, and New York. So like you take a place like Japan, it's super far. But Japan is totally Blue America.
100%. They're totally cocked.
Yeah, it's a vassal state for Blue America.
We are ever since the top of bomb on us, Gus, our balls have shrunken away.
Anywhere DC and New York call the shots from financial perspective, the further away you are from that internationally, the better. So yes, that's you almost want the loyalties to be more BRICS leaning than DC and New York leaning for sure.
100%.
Run away from the rainbows, guys.
Yes.
If you
flee, that's the sign of the invading enemy.
That's the new Nazi flag.
That's the new Nazi flag.
If you see a rainbow, run for your life.
All they're missing is a stylized butthole in the middle of the flag. Then it'd be perfect.
If you see a rainbow or a George Floyd statue, run for your life. You're an enemy
Can you believe how deluded these idiots are? They actually put a George Floyd mural in Afghanistan. Like, how stupid are these people, bro?
He's the new Jesus, bro. He's the new Jesus. Bro, like I said, bro, they lost Mexico.
They lost Mexico.
They lost. When Mexico looks north,
they're like, what is these Latinx? No way. No mama's way.
These pinchy fucking gringos have lost their fucking mind. Yeah, dude, bro, when Mexico starts making fun of you and they're like, yeah, we're out. We're with the Chi-Coms now. Yeah, dude, you read the writing on the wall, man. It's fucking, it's obvious. Anyway, brother, till next week.
Absolutely. Gus, thank you so much for joining us. And again, folks, perpetualassets.com, perpetualassets.com. And with that being said, we're over and out, and Gilbert Novak is right. Run like your hair is on fire. And we'll be back tomorrow. Cheers.